It's actually not, oh it is bad. One of my cousins had just turned 18. That girl was hitting the clubs. She found out that I was coming to Pretoria and she messaged me. She's like, hey, do you want to go out this weekend to Babylon? And I had been to Babylon before. After I see my friend Talita in Pretoria, I'll drive straight to Joburg, hit the club and have a good time, which would be fine like in your late teens and early 20s, but like I said, I'm in my mid 20s. That sounds like a nightmare to me, and it's so, I don't know, ironic, or like however the universe works, where it's like I would beg for a day like this like 4 years ago to first of all have friends, also to be so social. I would beg for days like this, but now I found peace with being by myself. Like I don't crave or have major FOMO. And that's just how the fucking universe works, is when you find peace without it, they're like, here, have it. I wouldn't want it any other way. This rooftop bar at like 3 p.m. and we're like, okay, we'll go, if the sun will be out, it'll be a nice pretty day. Tell me why the DJ starts playing music so fucking loud. It's like 7 p.m. where it's transitioning from like dinner to the clubs. And it's like super hot and this guy's playing like house music. People are like eating and no one's at the dance floor. People are ordering like burgers and chips. Like I cannot explain to you how much it is not the vibe. We're just sitting there like trying to talk about like our dying grandfather over like guy, like I was giving that DJ death stares because it was so loud, and then while we were talking that man put it louder. It wasn't even like people were cheering and we're like, oh, like louder, or people were joining the dance floor. He was just like, I'm gonna irritate this bitch. So we ended up like finishing the drink, going straight into the car and sitting and talking. Sat in that hot ass car until like she had to go. So then I called my brother, and straight from there I had my bag packed in his car, so that when he fetched me we go straight to Joburg. And then we ate, we showered. It was really nice and quiet. Like we didn't do prees. I was like, when I phoned her, my cousin, and she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna leave for the club at 9. Like I'm so fucking old, that's bedtime. 9 is, I'm in my pajamas, my hair is oiled, I just finished my hot cocoa. What do you mean we leave at 9? Just sat and we talked. Like there wasn't like background music playing and prees like how prees usually are, and we only started like drinking just before we left. So it was really nice and slow and quiet, and I definitely needed that. I put on this little tube top dress. I have to stick to a type of alcohol because mixing drinks just is not a thing for me. It's tequila, because vodka is actually disgusting. Let's talk about it. Like vodka mixed with anything is great because you actually don't taste it. And I've mixed vodka with other things. I mixed vodka with tea the other day. Vodka shots burns my tongue and then numbs it and then burns all the way going down. Vodka is a young girl's game. So we had 2 shots before we left. I want to say 2 or 3. Then we Uber there. It's quite a drive. We're like talking shit in the car there. Then once we arrive, I decided to get another 2 shots. I wasn't feeling anything from the 2 or 3 shots we had before we got there. And why would you be sober when you could be drunk? We're at Babylon. Like I said, I've been there before and I got super drunk the first time. I had to be carried home by my cousin's boyfriend. Super embarrassing. We were in bed. I was in bed by like 1. It was disgusting and embarrassing and I hate myself. It has been a while since then and I've actually gotten better. Like now I realize it's best to be fucked right at the beginning, and then you should be sober when you leave. Like if you're feeling a little bit cold when it's time to leave, you did it right. So I was like, let's get fucked. And it's also like I'm here to have a good time as well. Like I said, I only do it very rarely, and when I do, we're getting fucked, we're embarrassing ourselves, we're jumping on any platform available, we're screaming, we're having a good time. So it was me, my cousin who just turned 18, my other cousin who's 2 years younger than me, and her boyfriend, or my 18-year-old cousin who was meeting her boyfriend and her friends. Which was so like embarrassing for me because I was actually the oldest out of all of them, and I'm partying with a bunch of 18-year-olds. There's a gay club. It's not even a queer, like it's a gay club. So there's a guy walking around with tight like, and men are gross. Like there's this TikTok that I saw that was like, I'm going out today, hide your men. Not because I want them, but because I don't want to see men out. He was, I'm gonna say straight, I don't know if that's homophobic. Then he comes with a bottle of tequila. So I'm like, oh, let her have. And then he's like, it's tequila. And then he comes to me and I'm like, no. Because like I just had 2. And like I said, I don't want to have another Babylon experience where I have to get carried home. And I wanted to have a good time. So I said no. However, he pushed like a little bit. He was very kind of pushy. And then I didn't even like let him finish talking. Instead of being like, okay, y'all have one, I just go. I needed to be institutionalized. When we arrived, the DJ was terrible. When we went to the stage next to the DJ, we're like pretending to look at our clocks. We're like, it's supposed to be a drag show, and it was my first drag show because like, why is there going to be a drag show in Pietermaritzburg? People are gonna die. Also, I have a presence, a social media presence. I'm known by people and people recognized me. They would be like, are you the girl from TikTok? It's always the girl from TikTok. It's never, are you the woman of my dreams? Like when I go out, I kind of 100% expect, are you the girl from TikTok? Or even when I go to the mall here, during when it's busy, I know I'm gonna come home to DMs from like, I saw you at the mall, which I love. Like we're doing all of this because I want attention. I kind of mentally went into the club thinking I'm gonna get recognized. And I'm so glad that I didn't tell my cousins. They know that I post and stuff like that. For some reason, I didn't say like, oh, like I'm gonna get recognized. Thank God. Because I didn't get recognized once. I didn't come home to any DMs. And there's a cage there that we can dance on. Dance on. I'm really grateful. I don't cry when I'm drunk. I'm not like, I want to message him. Let's dance. 6 shots in. I'm just like a little... DJ's kind of shit. He is giving out shots of Jaeger. And like I said, I cannot mix drinks. I can't. It's Jaeger. So then I point to Lee, like, Lee, have a drink. I don't know how, like, I'm aware, like, no one else in the group that we're standing in sees it, but for some reason, I have, like, a spidey sense, but it's with alcohol. I could just, like, see him pouring the drinks and offering, but then I don't, like, leave for it. I see that he has, like, one more, and no one wants it, so I'm like, Lee, go get it. Like, she's like, share it with me. So I'm like, okay, fuck, like, I shouldn't mix drinks, but I am going to mix a drink. So then she has half, she has the first pot, and then gives me the second, which is, like, you know, the second person always gets the most. The music starts getting better. I have the musical taste of a gay white twink. I love Ariana Grande. She's a terrible person. Stream Yes And. Speaking of Yes And, there's this line that's like, she's like, why do you care whose dick I ride? Why? Because was that dick married? Was that dick posting on Instagram, I love my wife, thank you, happy Mother's Day, and were you liking it? Were you riding the dick then? Guys, like, why? Like, I'm just being a baddie, and then it's like adultery. We're having a time, we're dancing, the friends join us. Lee would just like go into the cage, not being like, hey, do you want to come with me, or like, let's go into the cage. That woman just on her own would go into the cage, and she is a baddie and an inspiration, like, love her. And then we would just like close it behind her and she would be alone in the cage serving. And I would go in sometimes because I was like, oh, you're alone, like, let me join you and stuff like that. And then this is the embarrassing part. This is one of 2 embarrassing stories. So like we get in, my favorite form of dancing is to jump. Now we remember what I'm wearing. I start jumping. I'm like, it's like a basic ass song. My hands are going down my body because I love to white girl dance as well. So my hand goes here. I feel my nipple. Why do I feel my nipple? My top's supposed to be there. My top isn't there. My titty is out. So then like I go and I like pull my top up and I look to the side to see because all of my cousin Lee's friends are all guys, and then I go to see and they're not looking, but I don't know if it's that moment where, you know, when you see something embarrassing and you have to like look away, and I'm like, ah! I have great boobs though, so I'm not like, I don't feel embarrassed. I love to have my boobs out more times than not. That wasn't the plan, and it was just one titty. This one, I'm drunk, so like I don't think about it for too long and I don't see anyone looking at me, so I assume that no one saw. I'm on the stage. I'm in the cage. If you want to be seen, that is where you go, and I want to be seen. My titty wanted to be seen too! We're having a good time, like everyone's like, we're in a circle, we're dancing, the music's great. I packed a Kit Kat in my bag to have like a bite of it after I take a shot. The chocolate's melted. I see that my card has melted chocolate on it. What do? A, wipe it off with a tissue. 2, leave it because it's just chocolate. 3, lick it off. Your card is the most disgusting. Why the fuck would you lick it? I don't know. My other cousin San and her boyfriend are like, no! They grab the card out of my hand. They have like a tissue and they start wiping it off, which obviously. Then I take out my ID and start looking at it and make direct eye contact with her. Like, why? I like them. I like myself. The only person suffering is me. And then I have the packet and I don't see a bin around me because why would there be a bin on the stage? So I go to the wall and I drop the packet, like the Kit Kat packet, so that it would, I was hoping it would slide and just be like against the wall. And then it's not. And then like I walk away back to the crowd. They all watch me, obviously, because what the fuck are you doing, you old dumb bitch? And then I see that it's like kind of further from against the wall. So then I go and I start kicking at the packet so that it would be against the wall. There's very rare moments when you're in the moment and you're like, these are one of the best moments. Like, I'm so happy to be alive this is what life is all about. Most club experiences are shitty and disappointing. So good because it was so rare. We were on the stage, so I see my cousin come up and climb up with the chairs on the seats, and she's like reaching for me, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I'm like at my peak of my drunkenness. And then I see everyone walking off, and then like Lee takes my hand and we walk off, and I realize like they're starting the drag show. We're the last people to leave, so everyone is like facing the stage, and I'm like awkwardly walking off. They have been shouting like, guys get off the stage, guys get off no one got like aggressive. Oh no, I think so. We go to like a different bar for drinks, and I decide to get another double tequila. We're at like a different bar. Instead of those plastic shot glasses, he gives us like a proper like glass. And then I see next to this little thingy with pineapple, lemon. So I take the shot there, I'm chewing on the pineapple. You dumb fucking bitch. Like, there's open in the middle of the club. Like, if I can reach in and just grab anything, do you think other people are not reaching with a disgusting hands? Like, why would I touch an open thing of fruit? There's this thing, like, I can't smoke. My body just denies it. When I'm drunk, I will reach for a vape just to make me more drunk. I would reach for it and ask for it, and then they would look at me like, are you gonna cough? Gold, like, don't cough. And I would get it, and I would cut every single time I would cough. I don't know if I passed it to someone. It drops when we're in the cage. Because we're at the corner, it dropped like floor to the floor. So people had to climb around, climb onto the floor. We're searching with flashlights for it. I dropped my phone onto the floor. Like, it was so instant. I go, it's like this. Okay, wait. I switch on the flash, I go to reach, instantly falls. Like, I don't even think I tried to like hold it. I just hoped that like the phone would hold me back. I start to sober up. I'm not in a rush to leave or anything, but we're standing where behind me, I think I want to say it's speakers, but it's just these big like boxes. And the same guy that, remember, like, that poured the drink into my mouth, he comes up to me and he sees me sitting, and he approaches me. He like offers me a drink, but he is also selling drinks. Like, in the beginning it was free, but I think I learned this info after. But anyways, he was like offering me a drink, and I had sobered up. I don't want to get re-drunk. So he like comes up to me, and I'm like, and he's like, why? And I'm like, I'm driving, you know, because we're at the speaker and they can't hear me speak. And he's like, why? Like, have a drink. And I'm like, I'm driving. I'm not driving. I like walk away, like past him, and hold on to my cousin's boyfriend to pretend like we're together, so that like he leaves me alone. Ripping, his name is Daniel's shoulders, and then a guy goes and like grabs my arm and tries to like twirl me around or like dance when I'm just like very visible. Like, it's not even like sideways. Like, I'm so violently not facing you, king. He eventually walks away. I'm too lazy to get up to see if it's recording. I'm just gonna finish the story whether it's recording or not. Fuck. But like, I wake up with a sore throat, and I'm like, oh, this is from the vape. We decide to go drive and get some coffee because I think we ran out of coffee at home, and I'm like, okay, that'd be really nice. I'll get like an iced coffee to like soothe my throat. And I look like shit obviously at this point, because like I look like the normal shittiness that you have after a night out. Like, my kajal is like smudged, my hair is all knotty, I think I just brushed it, and I'm wearing these pajamas which are so ugly and unflattering. I don't bother to change because it's also hot. This is obviously like morning time. Like, we're by the tennis courts and like this beautiful naturey area, so like people are walking their dogs, people are playing tennis, they're getting like their morning coffee to like carry on with the day. And then I'm just there like, yeah, it's the vape. A girlie walks past and she's like, are you Yastika? Yes. Yes, I am. And she's like, oh, I follow your Instagram and like your TikTok, and I'm like, thank you. I'm like, thank you, girl. Stop. Stop. She's looking phenomenal. Like, because she's like walking her dog. She like had a good night's sleep. She clearly washed her face. And like me, I feel like dying. Last night when I was serving cunt, no one could see me. But now when I'm in my absolute worst, I hope you enjoyed this. I didn't.